Zimbabwe Vulnerability Assessment Committee ZIMVAC 2023 Rural Livelihoods Assessment towards transformed livelihoods for improved food and nutrition security in rural areas. The Zimbabwe Vulnerability Assessment Committee ZIMVAC continues to undertake annual livelihoods assessments in fulfillment of Commitment 6 of the Food and Nutrition Security Policy. The overall purpose of the 2023 Rural Livelihoods Assessment was to provide an annual update on livelihoods in Zimbabwe's rural areas for the purposes of informing policy formulation and programming appropriate interventions. Government is commended for implementing the necessary progressive policies and creating a conducive environment that resulted in improvements to rural livelihoods. 1. Cereal insecurity. Compared to 2020, cereal insecurity has decreased. This reduction is worth noting, and government is commended for the continued commitment towards achieving one of the country's goals in the NDS1, particularly of ensuring a food surplus economy. Cereal insecurity trends 2020 to 2023. 2020, 56%, 2021, 27%, 2022, 38%, 2023, 26%. Compared to 2022, food insecurity has generally decreased across all the provinces except for Mashonaland Central. 2020 Manicaland, 55%, 2021, 22%, 2022, 38%, 2023, 28%. Mashonaland Central, 2020, 58%, 2021, 19%, 2022, 32%, 2023, 31%. Mashonaland East, 2020, 57%, 2021, 20%, 2022, 35%, 2023, 16%. Mashonaland West, 2020, 52%, 2021, 19%, 2022, 35%, 2023, 12%. Matabeleland North, 2020, 62%, 2021, 43%, 2022, 58%, 2023, 42%. Matabeleland South, 2020, 51%, 2021, 35%, 2022, 36%, 2023, 29%. Midlands, 2020, 55%, 2021, 24%, 2022, 36%, 2023, 29%. Masvingo, 2020, 59%, 2021, 36%, 2022, 41%, 2023, 30%. National, 2020, 56%, 2021, 27%, 2022, 38%, 2023, 26%. During the peak hunger period, January to March 2024, 26% of the rural population is projected to be food insecure. This translates to 2,715,717 people. At least 100,482 megatons of cereal will be required to feed the food insecure population during the peak hunger period. 2. Agriculture production. At least 82% of the households grew maize, 41% grew groundnuts, and 27% grew tubers. 2021 to 2022, maize 84%, 2022 to 2023, 82%. Groundnuts 2021 to 2022, 41%, 2022 to 2023, 41%. African peas 2021 to 2022, 29%, 2022 to 2023, 31%. Tubers 2021 to 2022, 24%, 2022 to 2023, 27%. Round nuts 2021 to 2022, 22%, 2022 to 2023, 21%. Sorghum 2021 to 2022, 21%, 2022 to 2023, 19%. Pearl millet 2021 to 2022, 9%, 2022 to 2023, 11%. Soybeans 2021 to 2022, 1%, 2022 to 2023, 1%. Adoption of Fumvuza or Intwasa. At least 47% of the households were practicing Fumvuza or Intwasa. Adoption of Fumvuza or Intwasa. Manicaland 49.9%, Marsh Central 40.5%, Marsh East 56.9%, Marsh West 41.6%, Marsh North 37%, Marsh South 35.2%, Midlands 56%, Mashingo 56.4%, National 47.1%. B. Access to agricultural training. About 94% of the households received agricultural training, an increase from 59% in 2022. C. Access to agricultural extension support. 81% of the households received extension visits, an increase from 55% in 2022. D. Livestock ownership and prices. 37% of households owned livestock. Cattle prices ranged from $167 to $467. 44% of households owned goats. Goats prices ranged from $15 to $51. 3. Household income. Compared to the base year 2020, incomes for rural households have been increasing. Income trends 2020 to 2023. 2020, $33, 2021, $75, 2022, $57, 2023, $116. There was an increase in income from US dollar 57 in 2022 to 116 US dollar in 2023. Government is encouraged to continue implementing economic stabilization measures which have resulted in these improvements. Income sources. Manicaland, casual labor 48.5%, food crop production 21.3%, remittances or gifts from within Zimbabwe 18.4%, salaries or wages 15.5%, cash crop production 10.9%, remittances or gifts from outside Zimbabwe 5.4%, livestock production or sales 7.9%, vegetable or fruits production 10.6%, Mashonaland Central, casual labor 39.2%, food crop production 33.7%, remittances or gifts from within Zimbabwe 11.4%, salary or wages 9.9%, cash crop production 28.1%, remittances or gifts from outside Zimbabwe 1.2%, livestock production or sales 8.7%, vegetable or food production 7.9%. Marsh East, casual labor 39.1%, food crop production 38.6%, remittances or gifts from within Zimbabwe 22.7%, salary or wages 15.8%, cash crop production 8.7%, remittances or gifts from outside Zimbabwe 5.9%, livestock production or sales 8.1%, vegetable or fruits production 10.5%. Marsh West, casual labor 34.4%, food crop production 31.1%, remittances or gifts from within Zimbabwe 11.7%, salary or wages 16.0%, cash crop production 17.9%, remittances or gifts from outside Zimbabwe 2.9%, livestock production or sales 4.9%, vegetable or fruits production 4.9%. Mats North, casual labor 40.6%, food crop production 21.1%, remittances or gifts from within Zimbabwe 17.0%, salary or wages 9.5%, cash crop production 1.7%, remittances or gifts from outside Zimbabwe 19.2%, livestock production or sales 15.0%, vegetable or fruits production 3.8%. Midlands, casual labor 40.7%, food crop production 20.1%, remittances or gifts from within Zimbabwe 18.4%, salary or wages 8.7%, Cash crop production, 9.3%. Remittances or gifts from outside Zimbabwe, 9.6%. Livestock production or sales, 10.1%. Vegetable or fruits production, 9.6%. Mashingo, casual labor, 41.8%. Food crop production, 30.1%. Remittances or gifts from within Zimbabwe, 25.9%. Salary or wages, 13.6%. Cash crop production, 7.9%. Remittances or gifts from outside Zimbabwe, 18.6%. Livestock production or sales, 11.0%. Vegetable or fruits production, 8.7%. National casual labor, 39.6%. Food crop production, 27.6%. Remittances or gifts from within Zimbabwe, 17.9%. Salary or wages, 12.8%. Cash crop production, 10.9%. Remittances or gifts from outside Zimbabwe, 10.5%. Livestock production or sales, 9.5%. Vegetable or fruits production, 7.7%. Social assistance. Government and development partners are commended for maintaining consistency in their support to the vulnerable population. Government-led social assistance increased from 61% to 66% in 2023, indicating increased coverage of support for vulnerable communities. UN or NGOs also provided complementary social assistance, 12%. Sources of support. Proportion of households. Charity groups, 1%. Churches, 2%. Diaspora, 7%. Rural relatives, 8%. Urban relatives, 10%. NGO or UN, 12%. Government, 66%. The major forms of support received by households from government were crop inputs, 54.6%, and food, 29.2%, while the major forms of support provided by the UN or NGOs were food, 9%, and crop inputs, 1.6%. 5. Access to critical infrastructure. Government continues to ensure that households have access to critical education and health infrastructure, as well as health information. A. Distance traveled to the nearest primary school. 73% of the sampled households had access to a primary school within a 5-kilometer radius. B. Distance traveled to the nearest health facility. 53% of households traveled less than 5 kilometers to the nearest health facility. C. Access to health information and services. Over 60% of the households had access to health information, nutrition information, and services of village health workers. 6. Water, sanitation, and hygiene. The majority of sampled households, 83%, were accessing water within a distance of 1 kilometer. Distance traveled to main water source. Located within premises, Manicaland, 32%, less than 500 meters, 37%, more than 500 meters but less than 1 kilometer, 25%, 1 kilometer and above, 7%. Mashonaland Central, located within premises, 17%, less than 500 meters, 38%, more than 500 meters but less than 1 kilometer, 28%, 1 kilometer and above, 17%. Marsh East, located within premises, 37%, less than 500 meters, 30%, more than 500 meters but less than 1 kilometer, 23%, 1 kilometer and above, 10 kilometers. Marsh West, located within premises, 20 kilometers, less than 500 meters, 43%, more than 500 meters but less than 1 kilometer, 24%, 1 kilometer and above, 13%. Mat North, located within premises, 10%, less than 500 meters, 35%, more than 500 meters but less than 1 kilometer, 34%, 1 kilometer and above, 22%. Mat South, located within premises, 14%, less than 500 meters, 27%, more than 500 meters but less than 1 kilometer, 35%, 1 kilometer and above, 25%. Midlands, located within premises, 18%, less than 500 meters, 35%, more than 500 meters but less than 1 kilometer, 27%, 1 kilometer and above, 20%. Masvingo, located within premises, 19%, less than 500 meters, 23%, located more than 500 meters but less than 1 kilometer, 33%, 1 kilometer and above, 24%. National, located within premises, 21%, less than 500 meters, 33%, more than 500 meters but less than 1 kilometer, 28%, 1 kilometer and above, 17%. Sanitation, about 61% of the households had access to improved sanitation. 7. Child nutrition status. Standing: boys 2022 30.3%, 2023 28%, girls 2022 23%, 2023 24.2%. National: 2022 26.7%, 2023 26.0%. Standing prevalence 26% remains high according to the World Health Organization classification. 8. Vitamin A supplementation. The proportion of children who received the recommended dose of vitamin A in the preceding 12 months was 84% and 64% for the 6 to 11 months age group and 12 to 59 months age group, respectively. Vitamin A supplementation for children aged 6 to 59 months. Children 6 to 11 months, Manicaland, 80%, 12 to 59 months, 76%, Mashonaland Central, 6 to 11 months, 88%, 12 to 59 months, 82%, Marsh East, 6 to 11 months, 84%, 12 to 59 months, 65%, Marsh West, 6 to 11 months, 80%, 12 to 59 months, 59%. Mart North, 6 to 11 months, 90%, 12 to 59 months, 52%. Mart South, 6 to 11 months, 80%, 12 to 59 months, 45%. Midlands, 6 to 11 months, 89%, 12 to 59 months, 66%. Masvingo, 6 to 11 months, 75%, 12 to 59 months, 61%. National, 6 to 11 months, 84%, 12 to 59 months, 64%. Only Matabeleland North, 90%, reached the recommended World Health target of 90% for children aged 6 to 11 months who received vitamin A. 9. Community development priorities. Proportion of communities in percentages. Access to land for agriculture, 4.2%. Livestock support programs, 5.9%. Control of wildlife, 6.3%. Electricity infrastructure development, 7.1%. Skills and capacity development, 7.9%. Livestock disease surveillance and control, 8.2%. Vocational training centers, 8.8%. Education supports, in brackets, social assistance, 9%. Livestock restocking, 10.7%. Agricultural markets availability and access development, 13.4%. Start-up capital or loans or revolving funds, 14%. Education and related infrastructure improvements, 14.4%. Borehole rehabilitation, 15.3%. Irrigation infrastructure development, 16.3%. Water supply, including piped water, 18%. Health services and related infrastructure improvement, 21.1%. Income generation projects promotion, 30.1%. Road infrastructure development, 30.8%. Employment or job creation, 34.3%. Dams, water reservoirs construction, 34.3%. Most communities prioritized construction of dams or water reservoirs, 34.3%, and employment or job creation, 34.3%, and road infrastructure development, 30.8%. 10. Government and its development partners are recommended to continue implementing measures and strategies in the following areas. A. Access to critical infrastructure. While the majority of households were within a 5-kilometer radius from the nearest primary school, attention needs to be paid to about 3% of households which traveled more than 10 kilometers. Attention also needs to be paid to 13% of households which traveled more than 10 kilometers to the nearest health facility. B. Water, sanitation, and hygiene. Attention needs to be paid to 17% of households which traveled more than 1 kilometer to access water, 5% which were drinking surface water, and 29% who practiced open defecation. C. Agriculture production. Considering that about 63% of households did not own cattle and 56% did not own goats, the government of Zimbabwe, through the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, should continue implementing various livestock development programs aimed at increasing the proportion of households owning livestock and improve access to drought power. D. Vitamin A supplementation. There is need to scale up efforts in all the remaining provinces to reach the World Health Organization target of 90%. E. Development issues. There is need for government to increase investment in the development of water resources and road infrastructure. FNC is housed at SIRDC 1574 Alps Road, Heathcliff, Harare. Telephone +263 242 8625 86 or +263 242 862025. Website www.fnc.org.zw. Email info@fnc.org.zw. Twitter @FNC Zimbabwe. Instagram FNC Zim. Facebook @FNC Zimbabwe. WhatsApp +263 0776 990 479. Food and Nutrition Council.